hands. It's like I can't walk on the ceiling. Oh yeah, got me dreaming, dreaming in colors I never dreamed in. Oh yeah, I let you in deeper than I let anyone else before. Fell in love with my broken pieces, took them all and made them yours. Didn't know what my heartbeat needed, skipping out, no I can't keep score. When I lose my breath, boy, you got me breathing. Oh, every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Oh, mad.
Welcome to Saturday Night Vibe, the Saturday Night Show that just don't give a damn. I am your host today, Marlon Clyburn, along with Theas Robinson. And on today's show, we'll be talking about General Milley, little Larry Elder, just a little. Let's get me in, let's come out. And what happened to an Alabama man that code expecting the people that's doing right. But before we start, if you are new to the show, welcome. I appreciate you watching. I hope that we are your kind of show. While you're here, please do not forget to hit that like button. It will truly help this channel out tremendously. And let's see who we got on board today. So far, hello, Susan.
Hey, Susan.
Hey, that's Foxy.
Hello.
Hello, Foxy. Foxy in Florida. So, without further ado, let's get started. So, first story of the day, General Milley, the situation coming out. A book came out describing the final days of Trump in office and the decisions of General Milley to mitigate how he felt that there was going to be some type of damage done by Trump before he leaves the office. So his first clip is actually describing basically him trying to calm the nerves of foreign countries.
As you say, report that General Mark Milley took top secret action to limit President Trump's ability to make a military strike or to use nuclear weapons. Let me just set the stage from the book. According to Woodward and Costa, on January 8th, Milley is deeply shaken from the assault on the Capitol on the 6th. He believes Trump, to your point, is unstable, unpredictable, and Woodward and Costa write, Milley believes that Trump is in serious mental decline. He also has been talking back channel to the Chinese. He is aware from intelligence that the Chinese are on edge because of January 6th and because of Trump's behavior. So he's trying to reassure them behind the scenes. And Milley tells his senior staff, quote, "You never know what a president's trigger point is." Against this backdrop, same day, January 8th, Milley gets a call from Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi. We've heard about this call, but Woodward and Costa got an exclusive transcript of the call. Pelosi has the same concerns that Milley does. The phone call is dramatic, it is blunt, and Pelosi wants Milley to reassure her that the nuclear weapons are safe. And this is the exchange. Pelosi, who knows what he might do? He's crazy. You know he's crazy. He's been crazy for a long time. So don't say you don't know what his state of mind is. He's crazy, and what he did yesterday, meaning actually 2 days ago, January 6th, is further evidence of his craziness. General Milley says, Madam Speaker, I agree with you on everything. Milley reassures Pelosi on the call, but when he gets off, he thinks to himself, she's right, and he decides to take this extraordinary action.
So he has this call with the speaker in
Right.
which she is agitated and essentially reinforces his concerns.
Correct.
He's seeing this intelligence and actually having a back channel. That's extraordinary. Back channel with his counterpart in China saying, calm down, everything will be okay. And he decides to call this extraordinary meeting. Take us inside.
Right. And by the way, according to Woodward and Costa, Milley never tells the president about these back channel calls. So
right there is beginning to show the effects of the last final days of Trump. So while that is going on, that's just for foreign, for the people, for China, this call to China, who saw the insurrection, something they've never seen before. What the heck is going on? Blah, blah, blah. We as a country are scared because this ain't something normally the United States would do. So that's one aspect of it. So before I get to you, Theas, I want to show you the second aspect of what's going on.
And again, remarkable. And Nick, back to you. You've told us that you have an understanding now of what it was that General Milley did with regard to U.S. policy toward deploying nuclear weapons.
Right. So this is a routine meeting. I'm going to emphasize that, a routine meeting, even though the context, as Yamiche just explained, truly was extraordinary. So in January, there was a pre-scheduled quarterly check-in with Nuclear Command, and a defense official confirms that Milley reiterated that the reporting process included him and that he should be called in the event of any nuclear order from the president. He made sure even that the participants at that meeting confirmed that they would call him. Now, technically, that is not the process. Nuclear authority is designed to be fast. The chairman of the Joint Chiefs is not in the chain of command. Even the Secretary of Defense isn't in the chain of command when it comes to launching a nuclear weapon. But there's an understanding, senior officials tell me, that many senior officials would be informed of in the event of any kind of nuclear order, and that's what Milley reiterated in January during that meeting.
Now,
So just a side note, we seem to, Theas, I know you don't know, but just a side note, something's going on with YouTube where they're cutting videos quite early and they're coming back and going in. So if that happens to this video, I apologize. Not us. We doing the right thing. So Theas, right there is for just to nail this in, just to nail this as much as we already know. There is a terror of Trump on his last days in office. That this dude is literally going to do something that is going to destroy this country. And The Republicans right now want Milley to resign and want Milley to leave and all this other stuff. When me personally, and trust me, I'm not a Milley fan. Believe me when I say that. But the guy did his job. Did he step over a couple of things to get the job done? Yeah. We can say that about the military on a lot of situations, but let's talk about this one right here. He had to mitigate so much of the last days of Trump in office because of fear that this dude was going to lose his mind. He had nothing to lose. He's lost the election. He purposely tried to make it as hard as he possibly can on Biden. What's there to say that he wouldn't have started a war and blamed Biden and his followers would have believed him? So on and so forth. So the thing is, those were the final days of Trump's days in office.
Yeah, for me, I didn't really care because I looked at it like, okay, on one hand, on a technical standpoint, right? There's the rule of law, and he technically that's like an act of treason almost, right? But they say that because he was doing back channels with one of the only other countries on the planet that could basically create mutual extinction. So for almost 4 years, 5 years, we were all wanting someone to step up and do something to mitigate the damage of Trump. The courts couldn't do it. Congress couldn't do it. The military is the last line, and they're not supposed to do it. Back channels, I don't care, because what was it, Kushner and all them? They were running back channels the whole time, and we called them on it, called them out on it. Nothing ever happened. The whole issue with Qatar and the blockade, right? Nothing ever happened. So I just didn't. It didn't really matter to me, right? I think Milley is a smart guy. He's a principled guy, and he basically was like, if I have to go out in a way that I didn't prepare for with my career, then this is where I'll go out. You know, I mean, if I get court-martialed, I get fired, I get demoted, whatever it is, if it protects millions of lives and in the standing of this country, then I'll be that patriot and I'll fall on that sword. So I'm like, all right, cool. I appreciate what he did. And CNN, damn, they piss me off so much, bro. They're like TMZ, man. If you when I listen to them, it's like you can't even tell who they really going for. Like all they're really going for is what's sensational. I'm like, are you really on America's side? You on let's have a war side? You are that dude, what's his name? John? Is that the dude? Yeah. John? What? Why I can't stand him. I just can't stand him. Like for real, man. It's like I just
They're doing what they're the anti-Fox by doing Fox theme.
It's like they're not even that though, man. Like MSNBC is an anti-Fox to me. CNN is literally TMZ. Like, how can I just get some eyeballs on this? I don't care what's right or wrong. I'm just gonna both sides it to death and see if I can scare some people.
That's bipartisan. Bull crap is that. Well, on a final note, and I've said this before on all these books that comes out after the president leaves and all this other stuff. Please don't tell me that you're doing it for the American. Please don't tell me you're doing it for knowledge so people will understand. You knew bull crap was going on and you decided to wait until after the guy was out of office to write your little book and to get cash.
Make money, yeah.
And to make money. So if you
heard this if you heard this in the moment, why didn't you?
Well, I just don't want anybody to think, oh, well, they're telling you, so they're a moral group of people. They're not moral. at all. That's money. Moral is, hey, something's going on. We need to say something about this right now. Moral is not, I really hope he don't kill a whole bunch of people, Americans. I hope he don't drive us into a war with China. Oh, he didn't? Well, he was about to. Let me tell you all about it.
Yeah, I mean, Woodward he's made millions.
Yes.
Off of just telling us later what he found out before that was urgent before and not so urgent later. You know, like, and then if I worked in the White House, I mean, you don't want to be the president that says, no, Bob Woodward can't come in here, because then you get all kinds of crap thrown at you. But
right.
if you work there, why would you talk to this cat? I wouldn't say nothing. I wouldn't even offer him a cup of coffee. You know what I'm saying? This dude, he's got a way. So
that was the funny thing we're gonna move on. But that was the funny thing about that whole Trump and the downplaying the virus and all this other stuff. And it really did dawn on me while I was listening to this, and do Trump know who this guy is? Yeah, Trump know who this guy is. Does Trump know he's gonna write a book about this? Yeah, he sure do know he's gonna write a book about. Why are you talking to him? And if anything, why are you saying this stuff? Why would you say this to a guy who makes his money off of writing books about what you say? You about the stupidest.
And you nailed it too, bro, because like on the one hand, Trump thinks that he's smart. He's the smartest guy in the room because he's always surrounded by yes men who pretend that he's the smartest guy in the room. So he thought he could finesse Woodward. You can't finesse Woodward. He's finessing you. You know what I'm saying? He's playing your ego just like all these world leaders played your ego. But I can't stand Woodward because I'm not going to call what you're doing a public service, dog, because you knew in March, you knew in March what Trump was lying about in February. We found out about it in like August, July, June, something that summer. You know what I'm saying? When your book came out. And then you got the dude, you know, the one with the creepy mustache. Remember him? The defense dude? He sat there. He's the only one who could have helped the impeachment go through. Bolton, yeah. But I got a book coming out.
Yeah. Well,
so I was like, they're all slimy, man. They're all slimy.
He was the one guy when he came out and said, I'm going to write a book about it. I went, so what? You about as creepy as the rest of them. What are you going to say that you wasn't involved in yourself?
Yeah. I think
we're going to move on.
Something like I was in the room. Well, yeah, jackass, you were in the room.
I bet you was in the damn room with your damn ideas.
You know what? Hands, dog. Come on, bro.
We moving on. I'm done with it. All of y'all some creeps. And thank God we got through y'all. Now, I never had to say that about any other president, or any other admission, any group of people in my life. We didn't live through you. We survived through you.
And here's my indictment of Biden. After all we went through for these last 5 years, because what Trump did is he went in there and he showed that in the absence of laws, you only have understandings. And if you pretend not to understand, then you have nothing. Biden didn't come in and fix any of that. All the expanded powers that Trump revealed, all the abuses that Trump made so that, you can do this and there's no law to stop you. Biden and the Democrats are not pushing to rein in presidential party on power. They're letting it run.
No,
they're not using it, but they're letting it run so that they might use it later. So it's like they're all crooked. All of them are crooked. And because I'm like, there's no way that right now Congress shouldn't have been pushing something about emoluments, something about, tightening up the reins on what a president can and can't do as far as domestic policy, right? These things should have been pushed through. Nepotism and all of that stuff. These things should be pushed. Not a word.
All right.
But thanks,
I'm
Milley.
trying.
Appreciate you.
What would have happened to Woodward if he had came out with it at the time? Woodward is an investigative journalist, old school. He gets all the facts in a row first.
Yeah, and time for publishing. That's my issue.
And
And time
and
for
and
publishing.
but you know what? I think what Susan is saying is if he would have came out with that information earlier,
No,
not
he would have probably been thoroughly criticized.
like he
Who
was.
who knows what levers would have been pulled behind the scenes to try to make it so his career died. There would have been all the stuff all
Yeah,
the stuff would have happened.
I don't
But
think nothing would have happened.
when he published that book, Trump was still president. So um,
Yeah,
the
but he already
same
got the information and was selling the book. He didn't care after that point.
that's my point. Like,
Yeah,
because she was
so
raising a valid point. Like, what if all right, if Woodward had blown the whistle the moment he got enough information to say what Trump did, like Trump did the interview, like 3 weeks later, that could have dropped, right? That's enough time to get your facts in order for someone like a Woodward. When the dude said it, right?
Yeah.
But he didn't. He held off until he can get his publishing and a full book around it and get the talk show circuits lined up for him and cashed in. It's the American way.
and not only that, I don't want us to think that this was a normal president. Because any normal president, this information would have came out. And I'm going by what you're saying, Susie. What if it would have came out in a decent amount of time? There would have been chaos. There would have been an uproar. There would have been, you're going to have to do something. And now I'm pushing the button. I'm pushing you to do the right thing and say the right. We're talking about a guy who pretty much figured if it's for me, it's true. If it's against me, it's a lie. And he have enough people to believe that crap. So when I say nothing would have happened, I really mean it. Nothing would have happened.
Yeah.
Everybody would have said, that's a lie. That ain't what happened. No, we have video. Look, we had audio of the guy saying it, and we still had people trying to figure out, well, that sounded like that was doctored. So,
yeah. Or the whole, you can't,
to answer your question,
you can't go by what he
happened.
says. You got to go by what he means. And then when it's another
gotta
thing,
go
is you
by
got to
what
go
he
by what he
did.
said, but not what he meant. It's just this whole,
There's a whole, yeah, it is, but they're not. If it ain't no money in it.
Yeah, and that's a fair statement. I mean, there are a lot of people who have more culpability than Woodward. Woodward's just reporting the stuff. But I don't give people a pass for personal decisions. I don't give you a pass for that. Just because somebody else is more at fault than you are, what about you? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, other people are worse, but he made a decision that he wanted to get that check. And that's a decision he made. So I have no respect for him. Thanks for doing your job.
No, I was done with it anyway. All right, let's move on to the next story. Little Larry, you done. I know you're done for now. I'll at least say you're done. But I don't want you to not understand why you lost. You did lose for a reason. You can say the Democrats and blah, 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 and socialism and communism and whatever and whatever. I'm just going to show you two things.
Oh Lord, not the Trayvon one, not the Trayvon one.
Nope.
Okay.
No, man.
I want to reach through the screen.
No,
to
I'm
get
going to go a little
one.
further back than Trayvon. I'm going to go a little farther back than Trayvon.
You're on record as calling for the end to the minimum wage, saying, quote, the correct minimum wage ought to be $0.
Right.
How do you think California voters currently earning the minimum wage, which is $13 to $14 an hour, would react to that?
Well, given the indoctrination that people have about the minimum wage, they probably would react to it well. I would point out that there was an editorial in 1987 in the New York Times, an editorial, not op-ed piece, And the headline is correct minimum wage 0.00. And they made all the economic 101 arguments. That is that when you arbitrarily increase the cost of labor, all sorts of bad consequences come from that. People's hours are cut back. A hiring decision is deferred. Prices of goods go up in order to compensate for that forced increase in labor, which is usually the biggest cost in running any kind of business. Milton Friedman, the Nobel laureate economist, who was a friend of mine, said that he believes that the minimum wage was, quote, the most anti-Negro law on the statute books, close quote, because at one time, believe it or not, a Black teenager was more likely to be employed than a white teenager, more likely to be employed than a white adult, more likely to be employed than a Black adult, because that teenager was able to sell his labor for less. When you come in with the minimum wage, you are foreclosing the ability of people, often with little education and little skills, to get a job. I never have quite understood why a third party like government, why that government feels it's anybody's business what my relationship is with an individual who willingly sold his labor, and my relationship with that person when I willingly bought that labor. Why two people who are adults can't determine what the price of labor ought to be is beyond me.
I need to never hear him again. I know you probably got another. I know you probably got another clip lined up, and I know we're on Facebook and YouTube, so I'm not allowed to say what I really want to say. But the things that would get me banned for saying is exactly what I want to say. How dare he?
This is
How dare he?
Bruh.
Like, it really hits me in a very, it cuts to the core. You know the stuff I focus on, bro. That hits me at the core. Yeah.
You literally just sat there and said the only reason that Black people was getting hired is because we was cheaper than white people. You said that. That's what you said.
He said Black exploited labor was cheaper than white labor that you had to pay for. That's what he said.
So to take advantage of that, let's get rid of wages and put it back to you about the stupidest dude I have ever heard. And I'm going back to the same thing I said about Trump. I don't give a damn what college you graduated from. You didn't go to class.
No, this dude is smart, bro. This dude is smart. This dude is hella smart, and he plays dumb, and he does these word games because the people he's talking to. He's playing dumb from the standpoint of, like, he's playing up to dumb. How about that? And
let's go with that on there.
It's ooh boy, just, you know.
Let's move on. Let's move on so we can get this dude off here.
Yeah.
Let's move on. So he's going to explain to you what's going on with the person that threw an egg at him. So I threw in the first video so you could understand why the egg was thrown at him. And he's going to explain to you what those ramifications was with the egg.
Eggs causing disruption. I mean, that was, that was something that was super disturbing. And I wonder if you know if law enforcement is trying to locate her, arrest her?
I do know that the L.A. County Sheriff, Alex Villanueva, said that it was a hate crime. If I had been a Democrat, can you imagine what would have happened? It would have been talked about in Bangladesh. They would have called it an example of systemic racism. But because I have an R at the end of my name, the story did not get nearly the kind of coverage I think it otherwise would have gotten.
Sir, it wasn't just one woman in a gorilla mask. There were several people there. It's all on camera.
There were
people are saying that this was assault. So then the question is, for law enforcement, why has nobody been arrested?
That's a good question. Under this governor, 20,000 convicted felons were released early. Maybe the person that threw that thing at me was one of them. And we've got soft on crime, DA in Los Angeles, who was endorsed by Gavin Newsom. Crime is going up. We have a 41% violent crime increase in LA. By that, I'm talking about shootings and homicides. It's one of the many reasons why people are leaving California, and one of the many reasons why Gavin Newsom is going to be recalled on September the 14th.
First of all, let's cover something that everybody keeps saying that crime is going up. It is. Every summer of every year since the day you was born. That's what happens during the summer. Crime goes up.
First of all, he's full of shit. All right. So crime is going to continue to go up regardless of the season because we continue to increase poverty regardless of the season. When resources become scarce, competition for those resources becomes fierce. People are leaving California not because of the politics, it's because they're being priced out of their homes. They can't live there. He knows that, but he knows the side that his people want to hear is about how evil and dangerous the poor people are. So it feeds into the white fright and white flight syndrome that he wants to be. He wants to feed that. He wants to show that he's a magical good Negro. But you know what? He need to stay his ass up in the house because if he come out in the field.
Oh, he went out in the field.
No, he ain't go out in the field.
He had an egg thrown at him.
No, he did. That wasn't going out in the field, bro. That was stepping out on the porch.
That's about
stepping out on the porch.
Get him to go out in the field.
No. Oh, real talk. That's true. That's true. He needs to be where he can be able to spin a story on it. Only thing he would have loved more is if the person who threw an egg at him had thrown a rock and the person who threw the rock had not been white.
And I love
he would have loved it. He would have loved it.
My favorite line, they let all these felons out. Who's to know that that wasn't one of them?
See, so imagine if that had been a black or a brown person, how much harder that statement would have hit in the Fox ecosystem. He's playing with fire.
Try telling Trump that he lost, much less why he lost. Same thing. As long as Elder doesn't demand an audit, which he won't get any support for. He that goes into the next video. He did succeed, but I'm not paying that whole crap that he said at the beginning.
I don't want to hear his voice, man.
I want to play the end part where he misconstrued how the audience react to what he said.
It's a Republican takeover. White supremacists. Say hello to the black face of white supremacy. Hey, don't laugh. Don't laugh. I worked hard for that title.
Nobody was laughing. They was cheering.
Yeah, he was prepared for it to be a laugh. That was his canned response. But you know what, man? I don't even care. I don't care. As somebody, the path to freedom will have to be cut through your own people. And everybody didn't want off the plantation, bro. You know what I'm saying? I know people say that, but that's real talk. We got real people who rather have their treasured position next to Massa than to ever see their people go free, right? It's like some people would rather be a pet and well-fed than free and hungry. He'd rather be a pet.
I've said this about Larry. I've said this about Candace. I done said this about Silk and Stockings or whatever the hell that group is and whatever. I don't care. How broke was you? And how desperate for power are you? Because for you right now, and I'm not going to say the person's name, but a certain person who was racist, bigoted, sexist, and very popular died last year. I didn't feel a damn thing. Not a thing. If that's how you decide that you want to live your life, and that's how you decide that you want to get paid, and that's how you decide to go be known for and be popular for, I have no feelings for what happens after you died. I just don't. Because all you have done, your time on Earth, is brought misery to this planet, to this country, to your people. That's all you've done since being here is brought pure misery on anybody who was in earshot of you.
Anybody in your way of getting a check. You know, I don't know if you saw my post recently, but I was just saying you got to beware the ones who rather have the keys to the plantation than set the slaves free. Got to watch out for those. Got to watch out for those. And that's him. You know, it's people like him. And there always will be them. There will always be people willing to sell out their own. Always.
And proud of it.
And proud of it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And it just disgusts me on a very, very personal level. So like, yeah, like when people say you should never speak ill of the dead, but it depends on what kind of person you are when you were alive. I'll still spit on your grave. You know what I'm saying? If you that kind of person. You know what I'm saying? Your evil didn't die with you. You left that behind.
I'll put it to you this way. Be smart. Don't ask me. You don't ask, I won't tell. But if you think I'm going to sit here and feel sorry for you and try to spin it like, no, not at all. Not even close.
Yeah.
Well, next. Well, you little selfish SOBs, you have decided that not wearing a mask, not taking the vaccine, attacking the school board, attacking lawmakers, attacking vaccine stations, that wasn't enough. You had to find a way to go that one step further.
An Alabama man who died of heart issues at Rush Hospital here in Meridian is urging people to get vaccinated. Ray Martin Demonia was turned away from more than 40 hospitals across 3 states and ended up in Meridian, more than 200 miles away from home. Twin States' Donisha Branham has that story.
Across the U.S., cases of the Delta variant are taking over emergency rooms. ICU beds are running out in hospitals and leaving no room for other emergencies, which was the case for a family of an Alabama man who traveled 200 miles to Meridian's Rush Foundation Hospital for treatment for cardiac arrest. 73-year-old Ray Demonia suffered a heart attack in Alabama, in which his family immediately went to the nearest hospital to them. With COVID cases on the rise filling up hospitals, Demonia's family says that they were repeatedly turned away due to the hospitals being at full capacity. In search of an ICU bed, the family contacted 43 hospitals before locating one 200 miles away here in Meridian at Rush Foundation Hospital. By the time 73-year-old Ray Demonia reached the hospital, he passed away from the cardiac event. In Demonia's obituary, the family are asking for people to get COVID-19 vaccines to allow more resources in hospitals.
So, let's put this back in perspective. One, we don't know if he would have lived or not anyway. 2, we don't know if he was vaccinated. There was no report of that. And the only reason that popped in my head is we've already had these eulogies of, for the love of God, please get the vaccine. And that's usually from people who didn't take the vaccine when they died. So that's why I said we don't know if he had the vaccine or not. But now you little selfish individuals who, once again, You don't want to wear a mask. You don't want to take the vaccine. You want everything to go all the way it is. You don't want to socially distance and everything else. But as soon as you get sick, you want to run straight to the hospital and save my life, even though I'm still going to admit that it probably ain't what y'all think it is, and so on and so forth. You have filled up 43 near hospitals to this man, to the point where he had to go 200 miles away to a hospital, and he died there. Again, if you don't take the vaccine seriously, you don't take masking seriously, then why go to the hospital and take that seriously? And while you're doing stuff like this and taking up room in hospitals and things like that, you have people who have other emergencies. Too bad. We don't have any room for you because we got to take care of these nitwits.
I'm a little short on words for this one because, no, we don't know if he would have lived, right? But I throw that one out. His vaccination status doesn't even matter. Man was having a heart attack. 200 miles. So most of Alabama is rural. Ain't no real cities in Alabama. We got Birmingham, Montgomery, and if you've been to either Mobile, and if you've been to any of the three, it still ain't no real city. Right?
I have absolutely no reason whatsoever to go to Alabama, so I'll take your word for it.
It's not much happening, right? So like their biggest, like Birmingham is like, it's like going to Macon for us here in Metro Atlanta, right? So anyway, when we start talking about rural
What's up,
hospitals, what's good? We start talking about rural and country areas. Most of their hospitals are glorified clinics.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not a real hospital. So they may only have 3, 4, 5 ICU beds anyway. And those ICU beds are doubled up as we'll use it for ICU if it's this, or we'll use it for critical care if it's that, right? And so, yeah, it's what it makes me think about is all the people out there, mainly the anti-vax crowd, who keep saying that this is all a hoax. That keep saying that this is all some grand conspiracy tied together to make us think that it's worse than it is. So they'll hear this exact same story, and they'll say, "No way that there was actually 43 hospitals that turned them away."
Yeah, I got that one coming. Yeah,
you know, they'll say that, and the thing is, it's like, well, what's the real number? See, I have no patience for you people, man. What's the real number then? For real, what's the real number? You don't believe 680,000 is the real number. So what's the real number? You don't believe that there's 43 hospitals had to basically say that there was no room at the end. So what's the real number? Is it 23, 25? Does that make it better? That's like, man, I'm so sick of the whole thing, bro. I'm just.
Well, I told you in the last show, I'm not holding a conversation with these people anymore. I'm not going to waste my time trying to explain to you, and I wholeheartedly believe this. I'm not going to waste my time trying to explain to you something that I'm pretty sure you know is true.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to waste your time, which I don't care about, but I sure as hell ain't going to waste my time. You know it's true. You're just being hard-headed because somebody told you what to do. And Lord, God forbid, somebody try to tell you something that's going to save your life. Nope, that really doesn't matter. So I'm not wasting my time anymore. And again, to iterate for the third show in a row, I do not want anybody to die from this virus. But I just don't care anymore.
Yeah, and I'm tired of even having to make that disclaimer. So I ain't making it no more.
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
I'm
Read
gonna
into
say
it what
it
you
every
want.
time because I'll have that one person that'll come in and watch the show and he said he want us to die. No, I don't want you to die.
That's the person that's just
I
like the
just
person
don't
you were just
care.
talking about.
I
Those
just
people are the
don't.
ones you just talked about. Yeah. They don't want to win any argument on the merits. They just want to win a debate. You know what I'm saying? They just want to get you. They just want to get you
No, they just
talking
want to talk.
until they can find a way to stump you. It's not even about getting their point across. It's just trying to get you to a point where you talk yourself out, and they're able to stump you on some random point, and then down the rabbit hole you go. Real people
You made a
dying.
good point the other
Real
day.
people dying.
You made a good point the other day. You know you're in the wrong when you're on the third and fourth page of Google looking this up, just so you can find something to help you with your argument.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Every state should be required to have heart starters. Okay. Every state should be required to have heart starters machines and ballot boxes within easy reach of populace. Denmark is smaller in area than most U.S. states, but still. It was, Susan. I get what you're saying, but I'm pretty sure they went to their closest clinic, hospital, whatever you want to call it, and it was turned away. It doesn't matter how close it is if they don't have the medicine or the equipment to keep you alive. It's totally irrelevant. It's totally irrelevant how close it is to you.
Yeah, and then who knows? They could have been in one of those buildings that has the emergency defibrillator, right? I doubt it. He was in Alabama, so I doubt it. But it could have been, and they could have used it, and they could have got his heart started because this man had a heart attack and still managed to last long enough to be shuttled 200 miles away.
Miles away, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Which is almost an hour and a half drive. But you still need that. You need that critical care, and I don't know, bro. People often want to say that it's trust in the greater good or a higher power or whatever, but that is not what that's not what I'm witnessing. All right, it's not what I'm witnessing. So
I'm deeply disappointed that Marcus Flowers is only taught about his opponent, Margarine, instead of what he can do.
I'm not familiar.
Marcus Flowers is going running against Marjorie Taylor Greene. It's Marine, I think, running against Marjorie Greene in her district. And I don't know that much about what his campaign is, but I'm shocked that he would do something like that. But that's typical because that's typical Republican running class. That's their mantra of I'm just going to tell you everything wrong of the opponent instead of how I'm the right person for you. But
that's modern politics.
Those are the ones you really need to, and we're going to move on, but those are the ones I rarely pay attention to. If the only way that you're going to tell us to vote for you is because you're not the other person and not what can you do for me? Because I'm selfish. What can you do for me? What can you do for my people? What can you do for my community? What can you do for my country? What are your plans when you get up there? What can you do?
Yeah.
I understand that you not Marjorie. Great, fantastic. I'm pretty sure a black man is different than a white woman. I get that. What else
We
can
just
you
got
do?
done talking about Larry.
No.
But yeah. But it's like the way politics runs is okay. If I'm running against you, Marlon, right? I got two choices. Well, effectively two choices. I can attack your character and try to find a way to show how I'm a better person than you and avoid policy discussion. Or I can engage in policy discussion and show how my policies are better than any that you even pretend to have or refuse to share. Well, problem with that is you can still attack me, even if I decide to go policy. And people are simple-minded sheep, the masses anyway. So they're going to hear, wow, Marlon is laying these shots on Theus and he has no response other than how he wants to help like school education, education reform. You see what I'm saying? So we are getting the politics that we deserve because it's the politics that we demand. We want a show, right? We had Hillary Clinton, who I did not like. I have a lot of things against the Clinton family and dynasty. But when you talk about who had the best resume to be the president of the United States of America, there hasn't been a candidate in my recent memory who could even sniff her resume. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But she was boring.
Yep.
But she was boring. I'm like, look, I'm looking for somebody who can run the country. I don't need you to give me a show. I don't want to drink a beer with you. I don't want to have you approachable so I can hang out with you. I don't care that you like to listen to Stevie Wonder music. I don't care that you got dad jeans on. I don't care. I don't care that your wife is in great shape. I don't care, man. What's the policies, bro? What's the policies that are going to deliver for those in your nation, because you're supposed to be the steward of us all, that you're going to advocate for to lift up the bottom? I'm not saying don't help those other people. You got to help everybody. But who's in most vulnerable positions and in critical need? And what are you going to do to help that? But we don't demand that.
Nope. We want sound bites.
Yep.
We want excitement. We want adventure. We want a reality TV show in office.
And so we got Trump. And then we were so scared of Trump that we were like, well, let's just go back to something. What are the words they would use? Something calm, something normal, right? And those of us who are in the Black community, brown community, LGBTQ plus community, we all heard normal like, nah, we don't want normal. Normal was bad. Normal was bad for us. Yeah. We need better. You know what I'm saying? But nah, people decided they wanted normal. And so we get normal. This is normal.
This like is normal. It's not like he didn't lie. He said it.
Yep.
He was going to get back to normal.
Yep. And this is normal. This is arms trades across the world so that we can set up proxy fighters to do our dirty work for us. This is, making sure that any deal that we make that actually does help the American people has a back door that increases profits for corporations. Making sure that we don't hold any corporations to account for unfair trade practices and labor practices. This is business as usual.
Welcome back.
Yeah. Did you miss me? Yeah.
Mafia. Come in a little closer. The first hour is over. We're going to take a break. The first hour was depressing AF. But
this time it wasn't my fault.
No, it wasn't. But these are things that we're going to have to stomach, hear, understand, dissect, however you want to put it. We cannot let these little things. We literally just talked about it, by the way. We literally just talked about it. We can't let these things go by the wayside because it's not excitement, because they're not sound bites, because they're not that's excitement. We can't let these things go by the wayside because we sick and tired of hearing about it. That was the point. They want you to get sick and tired of hearing about it. They want you to stop talking about it so you can look the other way as something that have a damn thing to do with your life.
Yeah.
So we have to be vigilant. I have to do the dirty work and put these things out. But That being said, I don't have to be a stick in the mud the whole damn 2 hours. And I'm not. So we're going to take a break. Foxy's videos of the week are coming up. Nothing but laughter. Theus, however, is going to make it political because that's what he does. It's not my
I'm
fault.
shocked.
And appalling. So give us a few minutes, everybody. We'll be back. To breathe, relax, laugh, and enjoy ourselves. This is Saturday Night Vibes, the show that don't give a damn. We'll be right back in a few minutes.
Feelings, it's like I can't walk on the ceiling. Oh yeah, got me dreaming in colors I never dreamed. Oh yeah, I let you in deeper than I let anyone else before. Fell in love with my broken pieces, took them all and made them yours. Didn't know what my heartbeat needed, skipping out, no I can't keep score. When I lose my breath, boy, you got me breathing. Oh, every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Oh. Magic, no, I'm never letting go. Now that I have it with you. When you kiss me, it's like the stars fall out the sky onto my heart to cover up what I don't wanna show. I let you in deeper than I let anyone else before. Fell in love with my broken pieces, took them all and made them yours. Didn't know what my heartbeat needed, skipping out, no I can't keep score. When I lose my breath, boy, you got me breathing. Oh, every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Oh, you take me higher, you take me higher, baby, you take me higher, you take me higher, baby, you take me higher, you take
Welcome back. Welcome back. And this is for Theus.
Thank you.
Know your
Susan.
lane.
Susan, cool. I like Susan.
I like Susan. Know your lane. Be good at it. And Theus has mastered it. All the crap is over with. We're done. Blah, blah, blah. Everything else. We're going to have some fun because I can't go to sleep. I'm already sore as it is anyway. So at the very least, let me laugh myself to bed.
Hey, yo, Marlon.
Mm.
I took some of your advice about the, downloading stuff, right?
Mm.
And I found some of the most wonderful instrumentals. Just wanted to random moment. It's just wonderful. I love instrumentals, man, especially hip hop instrumentals. It's just I think producers are way overlooked for what they do.
Yeah. That song that I got right there, and by the way, to let everybody know, I will be changing that shortly. It was a little longer than I thought it was. I just haven't sat down and put a new video with new music together. I will be doing that shortly. That being said, you really need to pay attention to these up and coming producers, singers, whatever. They are very talented, and just because they don't live in the good old states of New York and Atlanta, no offense,
No, it's true.
New York City, Atlanta, LA, Nashville, whatever. They're very talented, and we do need to support them.
Yeah, the kid out in Oklahoma, I'm just making this up, but you got some kid out there in Oklahoma dropping bangers. But they have to hope that their stuff gets picked up in the wilderness of YouTube or something. So shout out to all the creatives out there. So,
and by the way, I'm going to bring this subject up again by the end of the show, and you'll know why. Mafia, Foxy's videos of the week. So, what do you do when you're completely and utterly fed up with your job? You quit like a boss.
Hey, fuck Walmart.
I hope she remembers to clock out.
I'm pretty sure she clocked out before she got on that mic. I'm pretty
well,
sure she
you can't be working off the clock now.
Oh, no. What she said was not work. That was pleasure. That was a break. That was just when you done had it, when you done had fed up, when you don't care, when you are so pissed off and angry that you're willing to throw everybody that you are pissed off and angry at under the bus, this is what you get. You're done. You're done. You don't care about what happens afterwards. Now, my only question is, I hope you had a job set up before you did all that. I hope you ain't just up and quit, because, you know, at least that's what my mom taught me. Don't quit a job unless you have another one set up. But other than that, bravo.
Well, she doesn't strike me as the kind or in the state of mind anyway, that having another job lined up was her chief concern. Perhaps she did, though. And I do not condone this way of quitting, only because you're on the intercom. So there's other people's children, and elders who you've subjected them to your rant and, you know, curse laden tirade. So, you know, I don't like that. I don't. But I really don't like Walmart. Like, I refuse to shop there. I won't shop there for anything, nothing, because of the way that they historically and continue to treat their employees. So no.
Oh boy.
Uh-oh.
All righty. The good thing about it is I get to read it before I actually put it on there. Hold on.
But yeah, when you look at stuff like that, man, you got to treat your people better, man. You got to. And I used to manage chicken strips in the club. I don't know. Chicken strippers. Just make sure when you send me my chicken strippers, I like mine naked, no sauce.
Oh God! To the lady, this is the time to do it. They're having trouble getting people, and they know it. One, I'll push it back on one thing. One, I think she already would have a job set up before she does it. Two, I'm not a Walmart person either, and I mean, I would use Walmart out of necessity. But believe me when I say when there's certain things that I want, Walmart is not the first place that pops in my head. And that's what they're trying to be. No matter what your needs are, you go to Walmart. And I try my best to find any other place other than Walmart. But
Yeah.
I deal with it the way I deal with it. And I get what you're saying that you don't condone how she did it. So I'll do just like I do the violence. I understand you don't condone it, but do you understand it?
Yeah, I understand it. Yeah.
It's all we needed.
Yeah. It's not a lack of understanding. Hell, I work a job now that, and they don't treat me bad or anything. I just, it's not the role for me, and I fight against quitting every day. So yeah, I feel her
Every day.
And then you don't know what community she's in, because one of the things Walmart loves to do is set up in communities where they're the primary employer. And what's dope, it's a sad dope, right? But Amazon is doing to Walmart what Walmart did to every other retailer. Like Walmart didn't care what you were doing, how you made your living, how thin your margins were. They didn't care. They came in your community, built out a huge shopping center, made themselves the anchor and the best employer as far as number of employees they could take on. Extracted everything they could out of the community, so everybody else goes out of business, and then they become the only go-to place. And then when they get ready to leave that building, because it's the old model building and they need a bigger building, they just leave it and leave your community to sit there with this building no one else can use. Right. And then along comes Amazon. And Amazon says, you know what? I'm going to do what Walmart did. I'm not going to have a store. I don't have a store. I'm just going to do the exact same thing with no physical buildings. And now we're having it where Amazon is crowding out a lot of warehouse companies, because everywhere you turn around, they're pushing warehouse companies out and building their own distribution centers. So what's going to replace Amazon? That's the next thing. So
I don't know, because this is how wicked Amazon is. Amazon been saying for the longest time that they're hiring 1,500, 2,000, and they are. You know what the two positions normally are, though? Or the two positions that
a picker and
warehouse.
Yeah, warehouse, and then the drivers. But
warehouse and technology.
Oh, that makes sense, because everything is so technology driven there.
They want to make sure that that's how they're ran. That's what's going to keep them strong, and that's what's going to keep them going.
Yeah, I believe it. You see it. They have cutting edge, things. But all those chains do that as capitalism. Yeah, it is. It's it is hyper capitalism. I used to, full disclosure, work for Walmart's quote unquote biggest competitor, if you want to call it that. But yeah, it's hard to compete with unfettered capitalism. See, what we are dealing with is not pure capitalism. No one has pure capitalism. We have a manipulated form so that it's built so that all the wealth gets pushed to the top, all the cost gets pushed to the bottom, and we all deal with it. And then we put in, what are those terms? Subsidies and stuff to keep the ones that we want doing what we want them to do. And yes, it's a whole thing. Oh, I didn't even notice my light went out.
Oh, that wasn't dark. Okay. Well, let's move on. I don't even know how to describe this next video. Let's just say it is what it is.
Give this man an award. Handoff goes to McCaffrey up the middle, finds a little room, a lot more room, and he's off to the races, running down the field like he's fucking Seabiscuit. Touchdown. Wow. And I may get fired for this one, Peter, but fuck it. I mean, white guys, not to bring race into this, they're not supposed to be able to do that. That is fast. I mean, Peter, you tell me the last time you saw a white guy run. All right, well, stop. Jesus, our producer's yelling in our ear. 2020 races, and we get it. Up the middle, McCaffrey finds a hole, beelines into the end zone, running away from number 33 like he's got the fucking coronavirus. And we'll probably take a little shit for that one too, Peter. 2020, shake my head. Hand off to McCaffrey, right side. He's got room. My goodness, leaping! Oh, God! White men can jump. It's a fucking miracle.
Yo, first of all, I don't think that's real. But second of all, God, I wish it is.
That's not real. No.
Oh, man, because I'm sitting here like, yo, Buddy is like, he's either completely sauced or he don't give two shits. But hey, I loved it, man. I loved it. I just loved it. It was great. Comedy gold. Love it.
Guy should get an award.
Like he's freaking Seabiscuit.
Like you go get a reward. Yeah, well, tell you one thing, Biz, I'm going to check again. We're not going to get the numbers that we normally get because something is going on with. Oh, well, maybe not. We're still on.
Yeah, I still got you streaming, brother.
Okay, so, but I loved it. I'm sorry. I kind of wish this was real. It's not. I kind of wish it was real. I didn't get the coronavirus comment at all. I don't understand that. But running like Seabiscuit and White Man, that was funny. It took me a while to download it because I was laughing my freaking head off, but it was funny as crap to me. So, on to the next video. This video is from all the married men to either the unmarried men or the men who just got married. Just gonna leave it at that.
Wife, how could I get in really great shape this summer?
Well, you could always try to eat a little less.
Yeah, rest in peace, homie.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, bro. I mean, I've been married for almost 15 years, and I know I can get a little reckless, but I ain't stupid.
That was being stupid, dude. There is nothing wrong with saying, I don't know.
Yes, it's a good answer. It's a real good answer.
It's always a good answer.
Yeah.
It beats dying.
Yeah.
And that was just
Yeah, just that's like that's he wants to break up and he ain't found a way to say it yet. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, you break up by dying, ain't it?
She ain't going, you know, maybe. You know, you know.
How stupid can you be? That's stupid. Yeah, it was really dumb.
Yeah, you know. But you know, when you've been married for a while, you have your practiced response, you know, pretend like you didn't hear it at all. Make it about you. Yeah, that's a good one. Man, I don't know, baby, because man, I'm over here trying to figure it out myself. How I got to get this right for you. There you go.
I don't know, honey. What do you think? What how do you feel? The better answer would have, honestly, the better answer, this is the answer, and it gives you cool points. Lose weight for what? I think you're fine. And then you walk out the room. Quickly. Kevin is not on here for this next video, unfortunately, because I purposely got this for Kevin. And I hate that he's not on here. So remember when we said earlier, there are a lot of good artists out there. We need to support them. They're just hidden. This ain't one of them.
I was already dead again. You can't hurt me, only God. Party till I die with my chin up high. Fuck 'em all, fuck 'em back. Twerk like it's my last day on this earth. Let that dollar make a work. Party till I die with my chin up high. Fuck 'em all, fuck 'em back. Twerk like it's my last day on this earth. Let that dollar make a work.
Children just say no to drugs. Yeah.
I just want to know.
Yeah. Sometimes guys are giving you attention because they want to see you naked, not because they want to hear you say any of that stuff she was saying. Get that stuttering problem worked out, baby.
Okay, this is my thing. One second. I just want to show you something and see if I'm seeing the same thing. When you're doing that part of the song, why are you looking down as if you have to like mentally remember this is the part of the song where I do the part? Could be me. I'm not even going to take us down. I just want everybody to pay attention to that one part. Oh no, that. Yeah, that, Susan. Yepper. Just pay attention to the video and make it seem like you're working real hard to remember that part of the song. Why, I have absolutely no idea, but here you go.
I was already dead again. You can't hurt me, only God. Party till I die with my chin up high. Fuck 'em all, fuck 'em back. Twerk like it's my last day on this earth. Let that dollar make a work. Party till I die with my chin up high. Fuck 'em all, fuck 'em back. Twerk like it's my last day on this earth. Let that dollar make a work.
First of all, let me say something real quick. You have the weakest crew I have ever seen in a music video ever. They're just standing there. Now, I don't know if they think this is a dumb song and they're not going to jump up and party with you too. I don't know if they already drunk because we already got somebody's uncle already pouring their third and fourth glass of whatever that is. But you need to get you a better crew because they...
I mean, they know that song was terrible, dog. I think that never mind, I'm gonna withhold what I think. But anyway, it was bad.
She does work really hard to remember that. That's what I'm saying.
See,
it's
that's
like
not
she
what I
was
got from
really
it.
trying to concentrate to remember that part of the song.
That's not what I got from. I got it's like she was trying to do that thing where they be like, yeah, you know, saying like, you know, like, so she was trying to do that little moment, and it's like, yeah, but the whole
Like she
thing
was
was
trying
terrible.
to count 1, 2, 3. Party to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Party to the honey.
I don't know. I mean, the whole thing was just bad. So
that's a Russian bride, bro. She is Dutch. That is a Dutch rapper.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh. I mean, no. Okay.
What was her name? Ari by Bibi.
Yes, that's so. You know, I'm gonna give it a little bit. No, I can't give it much of anything, bro.
Don't hurt yourself. That was terrible.
It was, you know, but different cult, yeah, whatever. Different countries or whatever, they do things differently. So.
No. She's Dutch. That is an American song.
They speak English.
Yeah,
people speak English around the world. You know, I was a little surprised it said she was Dutch and all those black people there, but you know, I mean, there's black people around the world too. So, hey,
because they know what sells.
Yeah, it's just, but it was just bad. It was bad, but it's got people talking.
They got people talking really bad about her.
It worked for Iggy. It worked for Iggy Azalea.
This right here proves beyond a shadow of a doubt that if you got enough money and you can know the right people, you can put stuff like this out.
She could have put this thing out on a budget. I mean, literally, it looks like somebody used their cell phone and they videoed her at a drunk party. And yeah. Now she changed clothes, so I think they actually had a plan. Like they really thought they were doing something here.
She changed clothes?
Yeah, because you know she had on the white shirt thing, and then another time she was on the couch in the skirt thing. So
really should have made that the last video.
I wish her the best with her music career. This might be the best it's going to be, though.
It was a video. I wish you the best.
You know, Marlon, there's no judgment. You know what I'm saying? If you know,
I did judge.
Keep this on replay. No, if you keep this on replay and just bop to it a little bit, you know, no judgment, bro.
I was already dead again. You can't hurt me, only God. Party till I die.
I wonder how you spell.
What was the first line? She's already dead, so only God can hurt her. Wait.
I was already dead again. You can't hurt me, only God. Party till I.
I'm already dead, so
I was already dead, and you can't hurt me, only God. Okay, well, maybe she survived an overdose.
She's already dead.
But she's back now.
I mean, it ain't like, now, to be honest with you, it's not like she's lying if that was the case. If you're already dead, you're in heaven, God is the only one that can hurt you. But you're
no, not necessarily. Because see, if you're already dead, you might be in hell, and then in hell, Satan can hurt you.
You know how deep you had to actually go for that one. you real.
I was already dead again. You can't hurt me, only God. Party till
By the way, and this is not lost on me. I know the first letter that she keeps repeating over and over again supposed to be the first letter of the first word in the line. It's not.
I have no idea what she was saying.
The first is supposed to be puh, party till I die.
Oh, that's what she's saying? Oh, okay.
But it's coming out sound like B. So that's what's the confusing part of it. Okay, one last time. We're almost done anyway. Just pay attention to this. Whatever it is whatever the letter is that she keeps repeating, supposed to be the first letter of the first word in that line. And it's not.
I was already dead again. You can't hurt me, only God. Party till I die. With my chin up high. Fuck 'em all, fuck 'em back. Twerk like it's my last day on this earth. Let that dollar make a work. Party till I die. With my chin up high. Fuck 'em all, fuck 'em back. Twerk like it's my last day on this earth. Let that dollar make a work.
So thank you for cracking the code. So now I know the P was for party and the T was for twerk. Okay.
That sound like a D?
No, it was P for party, T for twerk. Hey, yeah.
She did.
I was thinking she had like a speech impediment or a hearing disability, and it's just kind of sounded a little off.
She didn't say T. Sorry, I'm not giving that to you.
Yeah, she did. She said twerk.
She said party till I twerk. I'm gonna twerk till I die. Whatever it is, you didn't say the first word, and the first one was the party till I die. Oh, that was a P because it sounded like a D.
Well,
I know you wrote this rap down, and I'm pretty sure you literally wrote down So could you just literally just change that D to a P?
Look, man, she is a true artist, and a true artist doesn't write down their lyrics. Okay, they're able to just do that. They're able to do that.
In this rap.
That's that Jay-Z level talent. Yeah, she's gonna be great one day. Yeah.
Can I leave this earth first?
Until the day she like spazzes out working at Walmart and curses out the entire staff.
That wasn't spazzing out. She was done.
Nah, she spazzed. She spazzed.
That's Dutch and Dutch's pronunciation. Oh, really? Oh, gracious. That's not good then. If that's the case, she should have never put that being a part of the rap.
Well, no, because if she's a Dutch artist and her target market is in the Netherlands and the European market, then they understand that distinction, and it only really sounds off to us.
It really sounds off to us.
I just think that she may have missed her calling. She might want to find another way to make a living besides stutter rap.
And with that, that is our show for tonight, Mafia. Thank you for tuning in. Before you leave, please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. Please do not forget to hit that like button. It would truly help this station out. Theus, What's on the agenda for next week for you?
Try not to quit and work a whole week at work. That's the goal. That's the goal. No, but so I plan on basically reworking, remastering, whatever, my Complex Mind channel. So I'll start putting out new content. Really wanting to focus on, some of the political and civic things, that I focus on, but being more solution oriented, things that can actually be done versus just diagnosing or critiquing what is. You know what I mean? So just a little bit of that. So that should be coming soon. And then, whenever you guys are kind enough to let me grace you guys, start pulling you in once I start putting up some content here. Just got to get to work, man. Got to get to work, even if no one hears me, I'm going to speak to the atmosphere.
I put it to you this way. I got to the point where if these videos don't have but 5 people watching, I have a buttload of videos where my children and my grandchildren can watch so they can see how I felt and what I was saying.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely.
I'm doing it for everybody else. Don't get it wrong. I would love for this to be my permanent job. Don't get it twisted. But if it don't, I got something for the grandkids. Susan, I love you too.
Love you too, Suzanne.
And with that, we are out. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, Mafia. And until next week, we'll see you when we see you. Peace.
Good night.